So yesterday, as we all know, was day one of DC FanDome, the Saturday that had a lot of games and a lot of movies. There was a heavy emphasis on games and movies, and I did a lot of screen capping. I attended probably about 6 or 7 or 8 different panels, and I spent some time thinking, how am I going to share my experience of DC FanDome with you folks? Some people, they just went right to, they just streamed the whole thing right from their PC, and they sat and they watched every panel from their computer, or they would watch a few panels but leave it streaming on their computer. I think I saw some of that too, but there were already people live streaming it, and I didn't want to just add to the sea of people live streaming. I thought it might be a little bit more fun, a little bit more compressed if instead I take all of the different panels I went to and talk about each of them, share screen caps, share video from those panels. This is going to be an edited, cut up video where I will share about each panel. But I'm also going to share the trailers for video games and movies, the full trailers right here in this video, because this is my experience of DC FanDome. So this is going to be a long video. I'm warning you, this is not going to be a short one. This may be possibly the longest video ever on my channel, but I think it's worth it. And for those of you who get bored halfway through, that's fine. You know, I'm glad that you stopped by. And for those of you that stick around, let's go through this together. I want to share with you some of the highlights from my experience at DC FanDome and the things that I thought were of note and the things that got me really super stoked.
As many of you probably already know, we were in the beginning stages of production when COVID hit, so now I'm very anxious to get back to work and continue to form this beloved character. I've always been a massive fan. I'm not really allowed to share anything, so I'm going to hand it over to the great Matt Reeves, who's somewhere around here, and he can determine what can and can't be talked about. But I do know that if you stick around till the end, there's a cool surprise, so I hope you enjoy.
So firstly, why don't you join Toucan Headphones, Brad, as we watch some of the footage from the upcoming Matt Reeves The Batman movie together.
Secret friend.
They use Nirvana.
Who? Haven't a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
You're becoming quite a celebrity. Why is he writing to you?
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Whoa! This guy's crazy!
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.
Whoa. That looked awesome. This movie is going to have such a different tone in comparison to any of the previous Batman films that have came before it. This is going to be a dark film noir, and the story they're going to tell, this film noir, almost cop movie detective story, it's okay. Let's just listen to what some of Matt Reeves has to say.
Matt, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So, as Robert said, it's super early to tell us much about the movie, but I think what's exciting about where we are with DC and with this franchise specifically is that there's been a multiverse of Batman, right? And now you're taking over this particular iteration of Batman. What made you want to tell a Batman story? I mean, this is a heavy lift. What was it that drew you to this character in this world?
Look, I love Batman, and I've loved Batman since I was a kid. And I never even imagined, when I began making movies, that I would do genre movies, because I just loved certain kinds of movies that were very character based. And it's really interesting that as I got deeper into genre, I realized that that was a way to do very emotional stories, but under the guise of these sort of great mythic tales. And in particular, what excited me, and the thing I related to in the Batman story, was that he isn't a superhero in the traditional sense. He might have a cape, but he can't fly. He's like you and me, but if he has a superpower, it's the ability to endure. And not only the ability, but the kind of compulsion. And so that idea of being that driven by your past and by the things that you can't quite resolve in yourself, like, he's a very alive character. And to me, to tell a version of Batman where, again, it wasn't about how he became Batman, but it's about the early days of how he is Batman, and he is so far from being perfect, and watch us sort of see him becoming what we all know about him and see it in new ways. I felt like that was a way to do something that hadn't been done, and that was really what I was excited to be able to do in this iteration. One of the things that I think is interesting is learning how to be Batman. The whole idea, this is all an experiment in the movie. The idea is that we're in year 2. It's the Gotham experiment. It's a criminological experiment. He's trying to figure out sort of what he can do that can finally change this place. And in our story, as he's in that mode, that's where you meet him, and you see that he is charting what he's doing, and he's seeing that he's not having any of the effect that he wants to have yet. And that is when the murders start to happen, and then the murders begin to describe sort of the history of Gotham in a way that only reinforces what he knows about Gotham, but it opens up a whole new world of corruption that went much farther. But as that story starts to come out, without being an origin tale for him, it ends up being something that touches on his origins. So you start to see that as it starts to describe this epic history of corruption in Gotham, that you start to understand, well, where did my family sit in that? And in that sense, I think all of that is a way to take a story that is a detective story, a very point of view story, a mystery. It's got, of course, action, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of it, it also is incredibly personal for him, even though it is the story in which he's trying to understand and unravel this mystery.
All right. So I'm going to cut it right there. I did leave in the most important part that I feel will give us as Batman fans a pretty darn good idea of what to expect with this movie. After that, Matt Reeves goes into the suit and the fact that this Batman suit will actually have a zipper so that, the bathroom can be used rather than having that rubber suit on and you're like, how do I go pee in this thing? And they're like, just go, man. But you didn't put a spacesuit, poopy-doo bag in there. And we learned that Robert Pattinson actually worked fairly closely with him in creating the suit because he has to wear it. He has to fight in it. He has to be active in it. And the suit itself has to look like it's homemade. And as we watch the movie, we'll actually see that there are definitely markings on the cowl and on the suit that show that he's only got one suit. This is it at this point because it's so early in his career. And I also like the idea that Catwoman is so in her early days. In the trailer, she was wearing a toque, like a balaclava, with the eye holes cut out. Like, this is so the very beginning of this universe's Batverse in Gotham City. This Batman is probably the most broodiest Bruce Wayne I think we've seen on film, and that's saying a lot. Because Affleck was pretty broody in Batman v Superman. Oddly enough, there was no mention of a few things that almost every fan who's interested in the suit was talking about, as in the things that he has on his gauntlets there, they look like arrows. And more specifically, there was no mention of the bat on his chest. The thing that people have surmised could be the gun reforged and set in the armor or batarangs. I don't think it's necessarily either of those. The point is, that has been one of the things that has the most buzz about his movie amongst the fandom, and it wasn't mentioned. No! Okay, so for the next topic, let's cover the Suicide Squad, because there was a panel for the game, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and also the new film, both of which look really fantastic. Okay, so first let's start with the trailer for Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. And you'll have to pardon me, I'm gonna need to pull down my goggles so I don't get any smoke in my eyes, because this trailer is on fire!
Boss. We got this. Hey! Boomer! Lay down suppressant fire!
Keep it down, Hal. The ears are still ringing after that last Barney.
What is that? Australian for hangover?
I believe I can translate. Boomerang has a concussion. From the enemy you missed in our last encounter.
Guess those teeth are sharper than your eyes, Shark Man. I never
You never miss.
Never miss. Yeah, we bloody know. You never shut up about it.
Task Force X. Alpha target is in the open. Get your asses to the Metropolis Grand Hotel and engage. Before I have another reason to blow those bombs in your heads.
Shit.
Yeah, national underground, stop the ground. Like a million elephants, a silver back around. You can't stop a train. Who wants some, don't come unprepared. I'll be there, but when I leave there, I'm so lame. When the man tells us it ain't no rain. So now we sit in a drop top so cool. In the silk suit, try not to swing. Hit some of us without the name. But if we hear that we're
Smooth.
Well, that should knock a few years off the old sentence.
That's reminding me of something. Oh yeah! Waller's stupid alpha target. Who we supposed to be killing again?
Oh, look, it's Superman. The mighty Superman has just rescued that pilot.
What a show-off. Beat it, Spandex! We're on a top-secret assassination mission here!
No.
So, figure out who we're killing yet? Oh,
Traces on. Did you ever think of pimp rock a microphone like that? There, boy, we still stay street. Big things happen every time we meet, like a track team, right?
You shouldn't have done that, Shark.
Wow. I've never been so excited to try and shoot a superhero in my life. I mean, it makes me sad. Superman's my hero, and the whole idea of him being, by the looks of this trailer, the end boss of the game. I kind of think that he's probably not the end boss, because you can see that Brainiac ship off in the distance there, staring ominously down at the people. So I kind of feel like Brainiac will actually be the end boss, and maybe we do or do not actually kill the Justice League in this game. Maybe in the end, we end up freeing them from something. It remains to be seen, because this game is so far away. That being said, it looks like so much fun. Oodles and oodles of fun, probably hunting down each member of the Justice League and trying to take him out. Trying to knock off the Flash and Aquaman and Green Lantern and Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter and Superman and Batman. That sounds fun. Way more fun than blowing up Megaton with Bad Karma in Fallout 3. Now, I do realize that this trailer also doesn't have any gameplay in it. This is just the let's get them all hyped with a CG short film, in the same way that, if you remember, when DC Universe Online came out, there was that fantastic trailer, and then the game looks nothing like it. The graphics are way dulled down. It would have been cool if the game actually looked like that. So I don't think that Justice League getting knocked off by the Suicide Squad in this game is going to look as good as this trailer. However, this is going to be a next-gen console game, and so that old trick in the gaming industry of showing us the game in a certain resolution and then getting us all excited and then dulling down and hacking the graphics in half just so that it will fit on a console and run smoothly, I don't feel like we're going to see quite the same amount of that sort of thing happening. The only thing that sucks about this game, aside from the fact that you have to kill all your heroes, is it's so far away. We have to wait so long, and the game looks like it's so much fun.
Hello?
Oh, I got someone!
Okay, I'm sorry, who are you?
Who am I? I'm Harley freaking Quinn, fart face. Who are you?
Wow.
Hey, Jerks, come here.
Hey, who is it? A new lawyer? You gotta help us, mate.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not a lawyer, although I probably played one once. But no, I'm Will Arnett.
Will Arnett? I'm your biggest fan. BoJack was the only thing that kept me going in Bel Rev. Every night. Starved. Tortured. Experiment.
Wait. An actor? Great. Hang up, Quinn.
No, wait. Hang on. Don't hang up. Look, maybe I can help. What seems to be the problem?
It's Waller. She wants us to kill the bloody Justice League. We're way out of our depth here. We need to get out of this insane mission.
Speak for yourself. I can see the headlines now. Harley Quinn finally kills the Bat.
Okay, well, there you go. That is the can-do attitude that I'd expect from a group called the Suicide Squad.
That moniker does not bode well for our chance of success.
All right, well, I tell you what. Why don't you just give me the rundown? Who are you guys? What kind of powers you got? I mean, what are we working with here?
Captain.
Sure thing, William. The name's Harley Quinn, and you could say I'm the leader of our little task force. I like baseball bats, explosives, dead superheroes, things that go kablooey, and the Great British Bake Off.
I'm Deadshot. Team leader, world's deadliest assassin and most dangerous marksman alive.
And I'm...
You may call me King Shark. I am a demigod, the rightful ruler of the seas, and therefore the true team leader.
And last but not least, the one, the only, Captain Boomerang. I'm what you call a supervillain. But don't try calling me the leader of this sorry lot. No, thank you. Leaders are the first to get their heads blown off.
Okay, so what? And forgive me, you throw boomerangs?
Exactly. Don't know why it took everyone else so long to get it.
Aw, sweetie, we just didn't care.
Okay, well, I mean, does anyone have laser vision or like a kryptonite-powered suit or?
Well, you might have us confused with Lex Luthor.
Well, there's gotta be a way. I mean, the world is depending on you guys, right? When I look at you, I don't see a drunk or a killer or an evil clown lady or a giant monster.
Hey, who you calling a giant monster?
No. You see, what I see heroes.
You must not have heard of us. We ain't your heroes.
Okay, fine. Criminals ready to pay back society and earn themselves a full pardon.
Full pardon?
That ain't bad.
Or do we get to kill them all? Even Flash?
Yes, the mission is literally called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That is kind of the whole point.
Ooh, do I get to, like, devour them and gain their powers?
I don't know, is that a thing? I mean, I can't see why not.
All right, screw it. If we're gonna die on a mission, might as well do it paying back those self-righteous pricks.
Then it is decided. Let us do it for acclaimed actor Will Arnett.
Oh.
Will!
Cool beans. Now let's take some time focusing in on James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. He brought some footage to his panel, and oh boy, we are in for a wild ride with this movie. A Suicide Squad movie, as far as I'm concerned, should be kind of dark, but also kind of wacky. I feel like when you have the right mixture of what the heck and how fucked up is fucked up, you end up with a really, really fantastic movie. And I think that James Gunn... Here, watch the footage. I'll watch this one with you.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence.
You're my dream, you're my nightmare. Life is a dream, she don't fight fair.
Welcome to Task Force X. These are your brothers and sisters for the next few days.
Run away from the pain, I don't care. 'Cause I think I need some guiding. No, the kids don't stand a chance.
Javelin! Look at that cast! Look at that cast! Seriously, doesn't that make you want to watch the movie? And is it crazy that the character I'm most excited to see is Polka Dot Man? I feel like this movie is going to be one hell of a ride. This second Suicide Squad movie, helmed by James Gunn, with some of the main cast returning, with an entire entourage of new people, seems to possess in mass quantities something that the previous Suicide Squad movie very much lacked in. Fun. Oh sure, the last one was dark and gritty, and it had a tone all of its own, but it wasn't fun. And you really need to break up these dark, twisted movies with just a little bit of fun. Not Josh Whedon Justice League fun where Batman's making a quip every 5 seconds. That's too much fun. But with a movie like Suicide Squad, that kind of fun is perfect. Because there's characters like Polka Dot Man and Javelin. Those characters are ridiculous. And actually, most of the characters in this movie, from a superhero, supervillain standpoint, they're silly, but that's what makes them fun. And that's what makes it so they can tell a really interesting, fun, ridiculous, dark story with this movie. I feel like it's going to have almost in some ways the same tone, kind of, as Amazon Prime's The Boys. Here, let's just watch a little bit of James Gunn's Suicide Squad panel before we move on to the next topic.
This is amazing. I'm so excited to be here at DC FanDome with all the amazing DC fans. As many of you know, the Suicide Squad is by far the most fun I've ever had making a movie. I am still working hard on it every day from morning till night, but we're having a great time creating something incredibly special for people.
You kind of sit there and go, how did they do that?
It's going to be different from any superhero movie ever made.
There's no one better in the world to direct the Suicide Squad than James Gunn.
I was excited with an opportunity to be able to do the Suicide Squad in the way it could be done from my point of view.
This one is completely unique. This is a gritty 1970s war movie combined with the brilliance of James Gunn's characters and comedy.
You need your director to set the vibe.
The Suicide Squad is just a twisted fantasy of characters.
Within each of our characters, there's a certain beauty. Within most of them. Some of them are just pretty crappy through and through.
Be like a douchey Captain America.
The guy who believes in peace at any cost, no matter how many people he needs to kill along the way.
Okay, I got it.
Don't ever settle back like you think you know where this is going, because you don't.
As soon as you have some sense about what's about to happen next, James comes in.
No!
Everyone's exploding. Genitals, heads, arms, legs.
It's like a big, massive graphic novel brought to life.
This is by far the biggest movie I've ever made.
I don't think that you know what to expect.
Don't get too attached.
This has been truly the greatest, most exciting journey of my life making this film. Cut. That was great.
So the next thing I wanted to share with you, as a gamer and of course as a Batman fan, is near and dear to my heart, being that I played all 4 of the first Arkham games. Well, this is the 5th game in the series. It picks up right where the last one left off. This game looks so fun, and you get to play as Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, or Jason Todd, the Red Hood. Damn! Here, watch the trailer.
In breaking news, we've received reports of an explosion somewhere north of the city.
We're still waiting for the police to confirm if there are any victims. This story is evolving rapidly. Please bear with us.
We heard this really loud boom. There was smoke everywhere.
Emergency services have confirmed that they've discovered a body buried in the wreckage. We're still waiting for further details.
Emergency vehicles are on site. A large portion of the building has actually collapsed.
In international news, an explosion rocked Gotham City earlier today.
We are now able to confirm that billionaire philanthropist Bruce Wayne is...
If you're watching this, I'm dead.
This is a code black.
This message was automatically triggered when I destroyed the cave and everything it contained. We both know it won't take long for Gotham's criminals to realize the Batman is gone. And you can't count on the GCPD. Haven't trusted us since Jim died. Gotham will need its protectors more than ever. I'm leaving you the Belfry as base of operations. Some of the technology is outdated, but it has the gear you need and all of my files. You've always had my back when I needed you. I know you'll keep Gotham safe. Good luck. And goodbye.
if you try to crush them, then the town strikes you dead.
Woo-wee! Doesn't that look awesome? The idea of playing a Batman game without Batman, I'll admit, is definitely a little bit off-putting. But honestly, I feel like the strength of these characters on their own is good enough that it merits a game that stars specifically them. In the same way that Joker really wasn't in Arkham Knight, but he was kind of in Arkham Knight, I think we'll see Batman in the game to that extent. The inclusion of co-op and the Court of Owls, both fantastic. Wow, that is going to be so much fun. Clearly in this game, there's also some kind of level progression that goes visually beyond that of what we've seen in previous Arkham games. I know in the previous Arkham games, you could upgrade your equipment, but it wasn't visual. You didn't really see it, you know, but with this game, clearly you can. And it's also hinted at, it's mentioned because Bruce Wayne gives them the belfry and says that the equipment in there is outdated. And then by the end of the trailer, you see all the characters, especially Batgirl is the most pronounced, in a completely different uniform. So that tells me that you can upgrade their uniforms as they go. I don't know, man. I'm going to say it. As much as I want to see Batman in an Arkham game, this one, probably because it's co-op, will be the most fun out of all of the Arkham games. Not the most iconic, but I'm betting likely the most fun. And who knows? Maybe we'll see old Dickie Pants rise to become the Batman by the end of the game. I suppose we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Now, one of the panels I was very keen not to miss was that of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam. That's right. How could I miss that one? Seriously, my wife could be in labor and I'd be sitting there on my cell phone and she'd be like, I hate you. I hate you. Yes, that's very nice, dear. Give him hell. Push it out. Shove it out. Way out. Now quiet. I'm trying to listen to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I've gone ahead and included most of his panel. There was a question and answer period. I cut out a chunk kind of in the middle, but I did include what I felt were some of the highlights of it. We get answers as to who else is going to be appearing in the movie, and we even get a little teaser still that gives me hope that just maybe Superman, Henry Cavill, will appear in this movie. Anywho, I'll just let the trailer and then The Rock speak for himself. Roll 'em!
5,000 years ago, Kahndaq was a melting pot of cultures, wealth, power, and magic. Yet most of us had nothing, except for the chains around our necks. Kahndaq needed a hero. Instead, they got me. I did what needed to be done, and they imprisoned me for it. Now, 5,000 years later, I'm free, and I give you my word. No one will ever stop me again. What's up, everybody? And so happy to be joining you guys at the first ever DC FanDome. You guys are watching from around the world. You're excited. I'm excited. And I got to tell you, first of all, I got to give props to my two friends, Jim Lee and Boss Logic, who teamed up with me to create that really amazing piece that I was so proud to show you guys. Just to give you guys a little sense of the Black Adam movie that we plan to create and deliver for you. Now, I wish I could show you more, a lot more, but as you can imagine, we're still in the very early processes of this creation. But I can promise all of you this, all of you around the world right now watching, I can promise you this, I give you my word, that we are going to go beyond your wildest expectations. And I already know this because your expectations are high, so are mine. Look, at the end of the day, I truly have one boss that I aim to please, besides my wife and my daughters. And that boss, of course,
is you guys, the fans, the audience. Always audience first in my book. All right, the first question comes in from June Rodriguez of the United States. The question is, how powerful can we expect Black Adam to be? Well, great question, Jude. Thank you for asking that question. As we all know, Black Adam is one of the most powerful superheroes, anti-heroes, villains, whatever you want to call Black Adam. He is one of the most powerful in the DC universe. But as we all know, the superheroes, they have to exhibit a little bit of restraint when it comes to taking care of the bad guys, if you will, or taking care of the people who are opposite them, who are opposing them, who are in their way. But this idea that you could take all of Black Adam's powers and he does not practice restraint, that makes for a really powerful combination, and one that's explosive, one that's very dangerous, and one that is ultimately, I think, very likable, to me at least. All right, next question comes in from Jaden Marvel of Singapore. The question is, if you could take any DC character to join you in an adventure, who would it be and why? The number one choice on who I would love to take with me on an adventure would be Wonder Woman. And I'll tell you why. No, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, of course you would, Rock. No. Look, Gal is my friend. She's a very good friend of mine. But the character of Wonder Woman is one that I have such a tremendous amount of respect for. I've always thought that this combination of Wonder Woman and Black Adam would make an incredible pairing. So this idea that we would go on an adventure together is something very cool. The other part to this answer is, I always thought that it might be cool to hang out with Superman. That would be cool, right? I mean, we're kind of similar in terms of our powers, our strengths, our speeds. Because look, at the end of the day, you never know. Black Adam and Superman could become friends. Or they won't. Who knows? Maybe we'll see. All right, now, I tried to get through as many questions as I possibly could. There were literally thousands and thousands of them. And a lot of the questions were about the JSA, the Justice Society of America, and who from the JSA is going to be in our movie. Well, I don't want to reveal too much this early on, but I thought this might answer some of your questions. Take a look.
I have a knack for destroying bullies. But there are some who think I need help. Hawkman. Dr. Fate. And their new recruits. Cyclone. And Atom Smasher. They call themselves the Justice Society. An organization that believes in fighting for truth and justice. Well, I'm going to teach them that the only beliefs I fight for are mine. Welcome to Truth, Justice, and the Black Adam Way.
So, as you guys can see, we are cooking up something pretty badass and certainly a lot of fun that we are all excited about to deliver to you guys. And I can't wait to show you more. But before I go, I want you guys to help me out with something. It's something that's pretty important. I need you guys to help me get a message out to some of the other ones. Some of the other DC superheroes. Let's let Flash, Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Let's let them know something. Things will never be the same. Because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Another really fun panel that I attended was the Flash movie starring Ezra Miller. I'm not going to include a whole lot about this panel in this video. However, I do want to include the portion where it talks about him getting a brand new suit. That's right. He gets a brand new suit to replace that really clunky looking armor suit that he himself made for the Justice League. Well, he didn't make it, the costume designers made it, but it was designed in such a way that it was supposed to be him that made it. Well, this time, he gets a brand new suit, much more in line with the comics. Here, let's watch this footage together.
So I'd like to share a couple of concept art drawings, and it's Barry Allen's new suit. As you can see, it's more organic. You can see light embedded in it. It has been built by his friend Bruce Wayne this time.
Wait, hold on. Did you see that? Look again. There it is. There, right there. That's Keaton Batman. Michael Keaton's Batman designs the new suit for him? That's awesome. That means they're not just bringing Michael Keaton back in this little pissy cameo role where he's not going to have that much of a point to being there. It's just a matter of going, hey, well, let's just bring him back and give him something to do to honor the character. He's actually got a job. There's a real reason for him being in the Flash movie. F***ing A! And I tell you, I'm so stoked that Ezra Miller's got a new Flash suit coming. For one, I always imagined running and moving in the suit that he wore in Justice League as being kind of clunky and sort of difficult. On top of that, it's an armored suit. He looked like he was from the Injustice series. I get it, you can't really put the characters in spandex, but nor do I think that Flash even wears a spandex suit. However, as someone who runs, it's supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be aerodynamic. Although technically when Flash runs, he's not running through sheer force of will, passing through the air. Like if Superman was to go as fast as the Flash, going by a science standpoint, he'd actually cause the molecules or the atoms to explode, and he would probably end up destroying the Earth. But the Flash, because he uses the Speed Force, actually is shielded by that somehow, and he can hit those supersonic, faster than light speeds without destroying all reality with him. Pseudoscience for the win! Yay! Don't ask me where I can reference that for you, but I definitely remember that being an actual for real thing in the really real comic book world. The really real comic book world. That doesn't make sense. And for my final trick, and in the name of making sure this video doesn't get too long, I mean, already it's going to be the longest video on my channel that I've ever uploaded, but hey, we all watch podcasts, don't we? We've all been trained to watch longer YouTube videos now, rather than back in the day when a YouTube video was anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. I think we can all digest something longer, and those of you who are still here, who have been here since the beginning, you are true super friends, and also have true attention spans. Anyway, the last video I want to share with you is the trailer for the Snyder Cut of the Justice League that'll be on HBO Max, and I want to share some of his words, some of his panel about the Snyder Cut. I'm not going to be there in the trailer, up in the corner looking down. I'll just share the trailer as I've been doing with most of them in this video, and then I'm just going to let you listen to Zack Snyder himself. You don't need me stepping in and having any kind of commentary. Just hear what he has to say.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. It's awesome to be here at DC FanDome. This is amazing. It's been quite a journey with the DC fans, and I've had a great time bringing some of these beloved DC titles to the big screen, and the Justice League really is, for me, and in this format, an amazing crown jewel. As a community, we were able to make this thing happen, and we really appreciate it. We're going to shake it up a little bit for this panel, and I'm going to have some fans ask me questions. I'm going to ask some people questions. We're going to have special guests, so let's get to it. We have some questions from fans read to us by some of the amazing cast of Justice League. Looks like next we have Batman, my Batman. Go ahead, man. What do you got?
I hope you guys are enjoying DC FanDome, and I'm really excited for you to get a chance to see Zack's ultimate version of Justice League on HBO Max next year.
Well, thank you, Ben. I'm excited for everyone to see the film as well. It's cool. What question do you have?
Patrick Mendoza wants to know, who is your favorite superhero of all time? We know the answer to that, but go ahead and answer anyway.
I guess my favorite hero of all time, other than Batman, would have to be, sort of staying in the DC world as I do, it's got to be Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, I think. I don't know, for me, he's like this super cool quantum superhero, whose time, space, reality, all those things are at his fingertips. So yeah, it's got to be Dr. Manhattan. That was awesome, Ben. Thank you so much. That was cool, and appreciate you stopping by. I think next, is it Superman?
Hello, everybody. My name is Henry Cavill, and I promise you that I am not in prison. This is just my place of work. I hope you're enjoying DC Fandome, and I have a fan question for Zack Snyder from Swapnil. As a storyteller, what is the dynamic between the Justice League that is important for you to present on the screen? Zack, over to you.
It's a great question, and thank you so much. I think the important thing for me to see as the Justice League comes together is this idea that, like, a lot of them basically are loners, right? You have Batman, who lives in a cave. His only buddy is Alfred, really. You got Wonder Woman, who, after Steve's demise, she's been kind of keeping quiet. You have Flash, who's got these powers, but he's kind of alone in the world. And you have Cyborg, who, you know, in a lot of ways, is not really happy about what's happened to him, this transformation. He's coming to terms with it. And then you have Aquaman, who also is this loner. And sort of thematically, them coming together and forming a family and finding in each other support. I think that's really what, in the end, drove me to want to see this happen, or see them come together. And I think that when you take all these different personalities and bring them together into a single cohesive group, it's a fun and awesome dynamic, but also there's a why of doing it. I guess it's time to play the little teaser, because that's why you're really here, to see some footage from the movie, as I promised. So why don't we check that out? So here it is, Justice League.
There was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing. So I tried to touch. I've told the truth. I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah.
Guy's probably fought hundreds of thousands of other super beings on the other planets he's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
Okay, wow. Every time that I see this trailer, and I'm on like my 5th or 6th time, it does the same thing. It sends cold chills down my spine and makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I am so stoked for the Snyder Cut. So stoked. One of the things that stands out right away is that all of that character development that was just butchered out of the theatrical release for Flash and for Victor Stone is all reinserted into the movie. Character development is so integral to good storytelling. If you don't care about the characters, then why are you going to watch the movie? I mean, I guess there's something to be said for eye candy popcorn flick movies, but with a movie as big and all-encompassing as Justice League, dealing with such big, such heavy topics, you really need to care about these guys. Otherwise, Cyborg is just a dude in a fake metal suit, and the Flash is just a guy that runs goofy. What are their motivations? Why do they do what they do? Why do they behave the way they do? And gutting all of those important scenes of character development really stole a good chunk of the heart and soul of the movie. Now, there are so many things I could mention about this trailer, but of note, immediately, for one, ain't it a fantastic thing to see Darkseid in all of his violent, warmongering, apocalyptian, evil devil god glory? Hell yeah! And was that royal ugly dude Desaad? I think it may have been, and also, Steppenwolf has been restored to his absolutely horror movie scary self. It would make me pee my pants if I saw him in real life. He'd be like, "Ugh," and I'd be like, "Whoa," I would just pee my pants. It would be my Steppenwolf repellent. Ugh. Did you pee your pants? Ew. That's gross. Now, some of the other things that people were wondering about Zack Snyder's Justice League is how long will it be and in how many parts will it be released? Well, he's revealed that it will be in 4 parts and each part will be an hour. But for those of us who don't have HBO Max, he is working on a way for distribution to come to other people so that you don't need HBO Max. And also, if you want to watch a collected version, that is also in the works. I tell you, it is sad that this will never see theatrical release. I understand why Warner Brothers won't ever let it go to the theaters. Maybe it will see some sort of limited capacity, release in some of the theaters, but really the reason why they don't want this to end up in the movie theaters is because it would just be plain confusing for most people who have no idea what's going on. They'd just be like, "Oh, it's the Justice League movie again, and it's in the theater. I remember liking that one. Let's go see it. Why is it different? And why is it so much longer? And this is not the same movie that I saw." But hey, I'll take it. A completely different movie with 80% brand new footage and a 4-hour collected runtime? Hell yeah. Anyway, that's about it for me today. This video has gone on long enough. It has been a marathon for me to edit it today. I've been working my butt off to get this all cut together for you. And I think I want to go upstairs and watch The Witcher. So I guess I'm done. Bye.